Hi guys, it's Weedit, and I am still doing a little bit of ICAD prep. I went through and I prepped 30, I don't remember how many. Anyway, I have 30 days now of ICADs that have been sort of prepped. I have some that I did with acrylic gesso in a very light gray and also in black gesso. And what I wanted to share is that I have I think I have 5 cards in white watercolor ground from Daniel Smith and 5 cards in buff titanium watercolor ground by Daniel Smith. So total I have 30 cards, and I can differentiate them by their color, but I also wanted to do a little bit more, because there are some things that tend to take a while, and I have gesso all over my nails. So one thing that I thought I would do is, this is kind of an odd texture. It's glassine, Tim Holtz, and I really liked it, so I thought I can fit 2 of the cards on here, and I'm going to do that, and I'm going to decoupage a couple other things down. So I've got decoupage, and this is in gloss because I don't care for the gloss finish, so I tend to use it as glue. And I'm going ahead and doing this because then when I get ready to create, I don't have to wait for this to dry. My card will already be prepped. And it's a little watery. I had too much water in my brush. I just washed it from all of the gessoing that I've been doing. So I'm squeezing some of the water out now. I'm going back in. There we go. And I need to use up this decoupage. I don't use gloss, and it's going to get old on me if I don't go ahead and do something with it. So, sticking it down. It's pretty wet. I have a little brayer here, handy. So roll over that. Get that good. And dump that in my water and rinse it off real quick. So, kind of working on minimum space at the moment, since I have been really struggling, mop this up a little bit, with a particular concept that I had in caustic. So I tried it. I didn't like what happened. No, this is not true. I did it once and I liked it, except there was one thing that I didn't care for with it, and then I started looking at it, realizing I kind of messed up on the order I was laying some paper down, and I needed to redo it. So I kept it, even though it's not technically correct, simply because I kind of liked it. So I thought, well, you know, I'll keep that one, but I'll do another one. And I was trying to fix one of the things I didn't like in the original, and also do it correctly, so that, you know, the farther away, the more muted the color. I had that reversed on the original. I don't know what I was thinking when I laid my paper down. So anyway, I redid it and made it a second time and looked at it, and didn't like it again. It didn't work for me. So I went ahead and removed it, melted it all together, and dripped it off. I actually saved the wax that I dripped off. It's kind of cool because it's got a touch of the color in it, and I thought, ooh, don't waste that, you know, let me melt that and see how it looks diluted. Maybe that'll give me a really nice smoky sort of look on the substrate. So anyway, I've been playing with that encaustic, and it's a bit of a mess because I have all my encaustic stuff out, and you know, that takes some room. And there I will have 2 cards stuck to this. I've got to set this aside and let it dry. I've got cards drying everywhere. And I've run out of flat surfaces actually because of what I'm doing. Okay, I need to clean this up. And the next thing I want to glue down is a bit of the Tin Holtz paper. This stuff. And I've had this. I've had this for forever and I've not used it, so I'm going to try to figure out how to get it untaped. I used the other roll, but I just haven't used this one. So I thought, now's a good time to do so. So I need to see just how much I need for 2 cards. Just a little bit. Okay. Just before those big letters then. If I can make it work. There we go. That'll be a little extra. That's okay. And I like doing this, even though there was, when I first started doing ICAD, I thought, you should do everything that you're going to do all at one time. That way you're creating all in one day. And then reality hit, and it was sort of like, okay, maybe I need to make it a little easier on myself. And a little pre-prep is fine, such as, gessoing the pages is okay, gessoing the cards ahead of time, and maybe like gluing this stuff down that needs time to dry. I think I can let myself do that. So it's much easier if you give yourself just a little bit of leeway. And in truth, I tend to do this sort of thing anyway. I'll take a day and I will go through take a day and I'll go through and I buy hardboards that aren't primed, and I'll prime 10 hardboards with acrylic gesso. Or if I've got my oil ground and I think I'm going to be doing some oil work, I'll go through and I'll put oil ground. Okay, I want to lift that up. I need to clean this off just a little bit so I don't get this on the back side of that paper. This is a rag that I keep handy so I don't go through so many paper towels, and it's pretty messed up and you can see, but I just wash it and it's stiff where the paint has dried on it, but that's okay. It's very, very convenient and it saves me from reaching. It's just draped over my camera stand actually, and it saves me from constantly reaching for paper towels. So I have 2 of them that I just said, okay, you can ruin these. Okay, apply here. And I've recently put Venetian plaster on a bunch of substrates. I need to put some more on. And then I also need to put some acrylic ground, some gesso, and some oil ground on some of my hardboards. Okay, smoothing that in, rolling it on really well. And then once these dry, dip that in some water so it doesn't get all gooey. Once these dry, then I'll just trim them off even, and I'll have 2 index cards that have a little bit of that texture on them. Yeah, find a place to put these. Okay, but there, that works. And then the last thing, and this gives me what, 6 cards that have, sort of something on them. Well, I don't know if you count that as sort of something, but it's different. It's not just plain white, so I count it. I ruined that napkin, so I figure it's a good one to use. And again, I need to wipe the tabletop here. There we go. Put that in some water before it dries. So I thought I'd take this napkin and try to peel it, which is always an exercise and fun. Of course, I could cheat since it's ripped right here. Go in. Haha. There we go. And I just want the top layer. I may use that bottom layer. I may texture one of the note cards. There we go. Is this 2 or 3 ply? They're usually 3 ply, but yeah, that looks thick for one. Okay. So there I have old-fashioned map. I think that's a great thing. Now, if I try to brush the decoupage onto the napkin, I will tear it. So I'm going to very, very carefully put the decoupage on the back of the card, or the decoupage, whatever. And you can't see me doing this. Whoops, wrong way. There we go. So brushing it all over the card, and I'm just going to plop it down right there. I don't really care if it's level, even, nothing like that. That's not what I'm worried about. I am going to brayer that flat, and then I'm going to go to the other side, because look, this is not stuck right here. Let's get that. I don't think it's stuck right there either. Oh, or there, or there, or there. It's too wet. Let's try it that way. It's too wet, so I'm going to do this. Clean the table again. I'm going to leave that for just a minute. I'm going to glue up the back of another card. I'll do it this way. Stick it on. Wear that down really well. All right. Now, again. Okay, so I have 2 cards right here, and I'm going to go over them with the decoupage medium, if I can find my glue thing, my glue sponge. Now, I just had it. Oh, seriously, let me get this one out of the water. Oh, I left it in there. Brilliant, brilliant. So brilliant. Okay, and then very gently I am going to go over this, and again I am being really careful because it looks like I tore it just a little bit right there. That's okay. because this is not the end result. There will be stuff done to this. Okay, and now for this one, just very gently. Go over it. Oh no. Okay, remember I said very gently? Evidently I'm not gentle enough. Okay, forget that card. I've got one card I can get out of this. And I will try it again over here. So, let's use scissors, not use my scary knife. I'm going to cut the one that I kind of messed up off. Or I'm going to rip it off one of the two. And I'm looking at it, still trying to figure out if I can salvage it. No. Actually, I'm going to let it dry and see what happens. This is mixed media. You never quite know. Now carefully flip that one down. Let me glue this. Okay, oh, I did take the brush out that time. The spongy thing. Let me wipe it off so it's not too wet. And it just came unglued. The head came off of it, spongy bit. Okay. Glue this. That's not. There's a hair in there, and I don't really want a hair. I don't even know. My hair is long and red. That was not long and red. Okay. Stick it down. Fire over it. Try and get that to adhere well. Now, peel this one up because I know it got glue all over my mat. And then let's try this again. Very lightly glue over the top. Very lightly. Very lightly. Trying to remind myself very lightly. Don't let my brush get dry, because it'll drag. Very lightly. And that's good. Okay, so I'll have two maps, and two with that funky glassine, and then two with the Tim Holtz paper on it. So that's 6 that have something already done to them. You know what? I'm going to do one more thing. I'm going to move this somewhere where it can dry. And it's getting harder and harder to find places to put things. Okay. So what I want to do now is with the back of that napkin, what I want to do is create a little bit of texture. My hands are sticky now. They're just going to get sticky again in a minute, but I'll have a moment's reprieve. Okay. Now this feels like it is doubled. I would swear that it is. 2 fly in here. Uh-huh. Yeah. I just felt it. Is it going to separate easily for me? Of course not. But we can try. Come on. There it goes. Yeah. Most napkins are 3-ply, and the decoration's on the top, and then you have 2 of these that you can separate. So what I want to do is put some of this decoupage glue, and I need to wipe off my glue brush again because I don't want a lot of water. I'm going to have to fix it. It's doing that to me. Okay. Now, I'm going to get this fairly thick and heavy, fairly well textured. And I'm wadding this up and just sort of sticking it on there. And now I'll glue over it. I want to saturate all those layers. I don't care if it rips or tears. I just want all the layers saturated so it adheres well. And then once this is dry, I also want to tamp it down real well. Once this is dry, I'll remove the excess. There. I'm going out to the edges, rubbing it in really well, and I will have a nice, heavily textured piece with the rest of that napkin. There. Want some more right there. Okay, that's one done. And you can tell it's already tearing off. You can see. There. Ah, stuck to my fingers. So I'm just gonna add more glue, tap it down, and then let this dry. And I will have, I don't know, there you go. You can see all of that texture. And again, I gotta find places to put these. Since I have another one, I will do one more. So that will. And I'm very generous with the glue here. Yeah, I'm very generous with the glue. There we go. That's a glob of glue. We don't need globs. Okay. Again, there is no thought to what I'm doing. I'm just sticking it down. And evidently I had some paint or color on my hands. Okay, let's glue this some more. A little bit of tissue. Trying to saturate again. and everything's sticking to me. I'm gonna cover that. There we go. And that's good. Take that off. There. Totally sticky fingers with this, and then that's the next one. More good texture. I will let that one fully dry. And I think I have done enough ICAD prep. And since it's day 4, I probably ought to do an ICAD real quick. So thank you for being with me. This is what I call studio housekeeping, when you go in and you prep up a bunch of stuff so that you don't have to, you'll have something to play with later. And it makes your crafting or your arting go a little bit more smoothly. So thank you for joining me. I have tissue stuck to me. I have glue everywhere. Time to clean this mess up. But I will see you next time. Bye.